We're going to talk today about the big news that happened. Was it yesterday
A few days
or
ago.
a few days ago?
Yeah.
Okay. And really, what happened was Real acquired REMAX, and I think that's the right terminology. And Terry and I have been doing podcasts. I can't remember which one this is, but Terry has been a real estate agent for
20. I think
20
we're
years
doing 20 years now.
almost.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I have been working in information technology for 20 with agents and almost 20 and 30 over time about how things integrate and sync. And Terry, also, how long were you with Remax before you switched?
12 years, I think.
And
13
you, yeah,
years.
okay. And then now you're with a different brokerage. But what we wanted to talk about today is there's a lot of talk about this merger, this acquiring of Real to Remax. And there's a lot of talk about what's happening. And so we thought we'd just pipe in and kind of one of the things when it happened is like, oh, that's surprising. But also, what I'm always about, always, and Terry, you know this, is that regardless if you work with Real or Remax or EXP or whoever, own your own data. And I think part of the problem is with all these brands, they offer you up tools. So one of the things, and correct me if I'm wrong, Terry, but one of the things that I keep hearing is that the tech matters. Real has way better tech. And I always question, well, what do you mean by tech? Right? That's a big word that means a lot of things. And so I know there's the inside stuff that I don't really understand because I'm not a real estate agent. So Terry, when they're talking about, I don't know, looking at your deals and getting financing and things like that, what's that actually mean? Like, didn't Remax have that before? Like, or even where you are now or other brokerages, didn't they always have these tools?
Yeah, I think every brokerage has a set of tools that they offer their agents. First and foremost, the brokerage needs to operate efficiently.
Mm,
So I can't imagine any brokerage not having some sort of system in place in order to manage the transaction from start to finish.
right,
You have to have something in place. Now, I've
right.
talked to a lot of agents in different brokerages, and some brokerages have very poor technology,
Yes. And that's
which
probably the smaller ones. Would I guess that correct?
not necessarily. I don't,
Okay.
we're not naming names or anything today because we're not. But there have been some large brokerages where I've heard from agents, and I know as well that some of their software systems aren't the greatest. There are better
Okay.
systems out there.
Okay.
I was on the technology committee for our association, and we were evaluating a lot of new software programs for the association. And there's a lot of great bits of technology out there that haven't been mainstreamed into our industry quite yet, but it's coming. Change is always happening because 20
Yes.
years ago I was busy faxing people,
And before
right?
that, the agents carried around big books, right?
Yeah, the
I
books
can't
with the
even imagine
listings. Yeah,
back in
right.
those days.
So things are
Uh,
changing. Software streamlines processes. AI now is being incorporated into these business systems. But I think, and you can confirm this because we've been around a long time. You teach a lot of agents all over North America. We see the agents and how they run their businesses, regardless of their brokerage.
yeah,
The biggest problem that we have in our industry, in my opinion, is the agents aren't operating the business like a business,
yeah,
and
I
they're
agree. They're
hoping
waiting to become
that
one.
somebody or some brokerage says, "Here's the 10-step plan to run your business. Step one is this. Step two, use this software, and you'll be good."
Yeah,
But even if they do, a lot of agents don't follow the protocols
yeah,
because all those systems are out there for anybody to use anywhere, anytime.
yeah,
You just got to get it going and be diligent and have the open-mindedness to adopt new software into your business and be open to change
yeah.
because the systems that you're using today will be different 5 or 10 years from now. I can guarantee you that.
Yeah, because everything updates and the software changes. And I think like that brings up a point where I always tell agents, like, you have to be so careful. I literally, when I talk to agents, I always hear this a lot that, maybe they've been an agent for 10 years and they've tried six brokerages and 10 different CRMs, or 20 years and have jumped. And sometimes, of course, people don't jump, but why are they jumping? There might be valid reasons, but there might not be, because a lot of times it's systems of their own that aren't working.
Correct.
And you probably would agree with me a little bit about jumping around. Sometimes there, better splits, I guess, and other things. But what's your comment on that?
Yeah, so what happens is I'll give you an example. When I was with my large brokerage, I had the opportunity to use all of their tools.
Mm-hmm.
I probably only use 20% of them because
Yeah,
there's just so much stuff, right?
yeah, yeah,
And you use the tools that actually help operate your business efficiently, give the
yeah,
biggest benefit to you and your clients, and you make it happen.
yeah,
In that same environment that I was working in, where I was able to keep my business going
yeah,
and be financially stable, et cetera, et cetera. Um, there were agents who were not successful. They were given the same opportunity, the same tools. I even had one agent ask if they could borrow money from me.
yeah.
So it in this
Industry
right.
also, isn't it? Like, I know um, part of it I would say is that you had the systems in place way back early when you started, when I helped you. And I said, why are you using the brokerage email? Why are you using a brokerage CRM? Don't use it.
Mhm.
And I am going to name names because I'm not a realtor. I can say what I want without any repercussions. But I remember when REMAX came out with Booge, and you said, "Oh, look, they're offering out this really cool tool." And so I log on and I look at it and I'm like, "Oh my God, this is horrible. Don't use it. It doesn't sync, it doesn't integrate, it's clunky software." And I even tried to go up the chain in REMAX and saying, "Why are you guys using this?" I didn't get very far, unfortunately. But a lot of agents got stuck because what happened with Booge, I can't, do you remember how long they actually had it running? I can't
It was
really
a few
remember.
years. It was a few
Well, I
years.
think it was 5 years. I might
Yeah.
be wrong. 3, 5 years, something like
Yeah.
that.
And Bouge
But
is, for people who don't know, is be on board or be jealous.
oh, I don't
And
even remember what it stood
yeah,
for.
BOOJ.
Oh, okay, okay. But this is not, it's Bouge or it's KB Core or Bold Trails or whatever your brokerage is offering you. This is just an example of what could happen. Is that let's say you're all on board and you think, oh, this is great. I love this tool. This is awesome. I'm going to use the brokerage email. I'm going to use the Booge or KV Core, Bull Trails. I don't know why I can't commit to the new name of KV Core. I think it's Bull Trails. Real, whatever they're offering you, Sphere, and you put all your energy into it and you actually use it. Most agents don't, but if they did, so they set up the drips, they set up the CRM to communicate with their clients. And then let's use the Bouge example. You're using it, and 5 years later, they say, you know what, we're not using it anymore. We're switching to another CRM and we're not transferring any of your data. So all that energy you put into that, now you have to redo and relearn because they made that choice. You didn't make that choice. So any of those is like, I want the agent to own their own data. So let's say you're using a brokerage CRM, and I don't care if it's Real or Real has a CRM, and I know they've got some cool tools, but in the end, please protect yourself. Okay. Doesn't matter what brokerage you're with. What I always say is if they've got a really cool lead gen system, awesome. Use it, right? Use it. If they're actually giving you leads, awesome. Use it. But when those leads become good leads, because what's the percentage, Terry, of leads that are good?
0.0000001. I'm making that up. That's not a real stat, but
I know it's
it's
low though.
it's
It's
low and you have to put a lot of energy
a
and
lot of
time
effort.
into vetting these
Right.
leads.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm actually I'm working on a book. Did I tell you that?
No.
Yeah, it's called The Organized Agent. It's a book,
Oh,
and
cool.
I don't know, I'll be done in the probably next 2, 3 months. But it talks about these things to consider because I see it in the 20 years working with agents, I see it all the time. Tears because they didn't think this through. So this is what I recommend with setups. I wouldn't jump ship because I'm sure some agents are like, oh my gosh, I got to go find somewhere else, another brokerage because of this stuff that's happening. I wouldn't necessarily jump ship. What I want you to do is own your data. So it's going to take, I think, a long time for all this. It's a lot of work to transition everything, and I don't know how many months it would take. Have you read anything about that yet, Terry?
Not really. I know there's a time frame. I think they said second quarter 2026 or something like that.
Yeah, that seems
Um,
very soon for me,
and
but
yeah,
who knows?
everybody's talking about business as usual. Fair enough,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
who knows where
But
it's
this,
gonna go? I don't know.
no, but whether you are going to go to real or stay while all this transition happens, awesome. Or if you're with another brokerage right now, this is still relevant. I always say don't use the brokerage email. And if they if they require you to do it and they tell you it's for E&O, please challenge that. Because a lot of times if I was a broker owner,
You have to explain
I would
E&O to
want
people.
what's
Yeah,
that?
people don't know what E&O are.
Realtors don't?
Well,
Oh, errors and omissions.
yeah, okay, perfect. Just in case if you have non-realtors listening. Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
yeah.
Um, if I owned a brokerage, I would actually do the same thing because I would want it very difficult for you to leave. I don't like it, but that's what I would do. I would want you to use the email because I own it. I'd want you to use the CRM that I offer because I own it. Yes, you're probably paying for it in your fees, but
Mhm.
I tell agents do not use the email because listen, this is what happens. I'm going to talk two things about whatever brokerage you're with, but this is big news because of this acquisition that's in the news right now. Is that if you used a brokerage email, let's say, and you give your clients that, that's on your business cards, and you've been an agent for 10, 20, 30, 40 years, and then you want to go somewhere else. What do you think happens to that email that everybody has now, all your thousands of clients and friends and family? What happens, Terry?
Yeah, disappears. The tap gets turned off.
So, what most agents don't understand is that that's all email history, all contacts associated with an email address. And usually there's a lot, all calendars attached to it, all files and folders attached to that email. And if the CRM is attached to that, all the CRM stuff. That even me saying this, my heart palpitates because I'm like, oh, I just hate it when people don't think this through because you don't understand. And that's the problem with using a brokerage email. You should be using your own professional email, not a Yahoo, Gmail. I'm trying to think of AOL, MSN, iCloud. I'm trying to think of all the free email out there. Shaw, TELUS, Bell. What are the US ones? There's so many US ones as well. I
Oh
can't,
yeah, for sure.
there's so many. If you're not paying for a professional email, you are not running a business properly. So there's that. And then when I see this acquisition happen as well, everyone's talking about, I'm just going to read some of the things that were out there before that people were commenting on about this transition acquisition. Okay. The agent is the brand. Someone said the agent is the brand. So it's true. Like Terry, you could probably go work for I'm not probably, I know you could. You could go work for any brokerage and still be successful.
Yeah, not just me. This applies to anybody
Yes, sorry, any agent.
who has their real estate business set up properly,
Yeah,
can go work for John Smith's brokerage or
yeah,
REMAX or whoever.
yeah.
Whoever.
Real.
It doesn't
Yeah,
matter. It doesn't
yeah,
matter. You will be
yeah.
successful. If
Correct.
you're not successful and you're always looking for this golden handshake of somebody saying, if you come to my brokerage, you will be successful, and you're not successful already, you will not be successful. I can guarantee you that.
Yeah,
You need to get control of your business first, and then the brokerage is just the icing on the cake or the flag that you're flying, whatever the perspective you have on your brokerage.
yeah.
Your brokerage is not going to be your savior.
I remember you saying, and I can't, hopefully you remember this because you've said it a few times when we talk about this all the time because Terry's a realtor. I'm in the business of helping agents get their, oh, I almost wanted to say, whatever together,
You
their business
can.
together. But I think you always say that when people say, oh, I'm moving from wherever because the split's better here. What do you say?
Yeah, I don't really, it's
You don't
important,
care
of
about
course.
money.
Yeah, I don't know. I care about because
Yes,
I,
of course you
but
do. But
but at the end of the day, that shouldn't
yeah,
be your motivation because the minute money becomes the biggest issue in your business, it's a downward spiral. Now you're
yeah,
chasing profitability of your business, and it's not because of the splits, it's because of your business.
yeah,
You need to
yeah.
fix your business first, and then the splits don't matter.
Right, right. Because
Yeah,
I can tell you that I don't know what your actual percentage is, but it's extremely high because of your repeat and referral business.
my
Extremely
percentage,
high
my percentage of what?
of repeat and referral
Oh
business.
yeah, yeah. So we're not going to get too deep into this, but there's different business models within the real estate
Yes.
industry, and you could classify them into two kind of macros, like transactional based and service based.
Yep.
If your focus is doing a lot of transactions fast, you're going to have a really strong sales mindset, and everything's going to be decisions are going to be motivated by getting deals done fast and quick.
Yep.
Correct? The other one is service mindset, and on the service mindset, you bring typically you bring a high level of service to your clients. Your clients become your advocates, and you become their agent for life.
Yeah.
That's on the other extreme end. There's hybrid versions of all this,
Yeah.
but at the end of the day, you see this all the time because you talk to clients who have been in the business for 30 years and have the transactional mindset, and they're always chasing or trying to find new clients.
I actually, yeah, it drives me just this is just my own personal opinion because you're dealing with usually people's biggest investment of their lives, buying or selling.
Mhm.
I don't think it should be a transaction ever. So yes, I know some people just one and done and move on, but also that I think that business model from all the decades I've worked with agents, you're always chasing new leads. Isn't it so much easier to have the systems in place, a good CRM that you own with a professional email address that you own, and be able to consistently keep in touch with all those people that you've worked with for the last 5, 10, 15, 20, however long you've been in the business to consistently keep in touch with them. Because if you're top of mind, they will recommend you forever. Rather than it's way harder to chase new leads. That following up with new leads, like Terry, to be honest, you've never been a lead chaser.
No, no. Um, part of my business model is I'm always trying to set the bar really high for everybody,
Yep.
and I understand that in my business, most of the people that we help, it's their personal residence.
Yep.
We have some investors and other people as well mixed into that, and they have
Hmm.
different perspectives on things. But the majority of my business, I'm dealing with people's homes,
Yep.
and we're selling them, and we're buying them a new home. So it's a very personal experience.
Yeah. And
So you
it's a
can't,
big deal.
it's
It's
a
a
big deal in
big
people's lives.
deal
Yeah.
for everybody.
Yep. Very
Right?
stressful, very personal.
Yes.
And we get the privilege of being part of that process. And it's a huge responsibility.
Yeah. And I
Huge
know
responsibility.
it is a huge responsibility. And, over the years, and I'm not kidding when I've had comments of agents who've been in the business for a very long time say they never really cared. They just wanted to get paid. And that, like, even saying that out loud makes me want to vomit.
Yeah.
Seriously, because there's so many agents for people to choose from too, right? And they don't know what happens in the back end, that they're using a Yahoo email, that they're not really following up, that they're not showing up, they're not doing these business things that they should do in their business. And I'm just hoping with this shakeup in the industry, because everybody's talking about this, that I just want you to be mindful as an agent that you're dealing with humans and this is the biggest transaction of their life. And you should treat it with so much respect, like you do, Terry. I know you do. I've heard you talk about it. I know that you follow up and you're always available for their crying because they're upset about something. Something went
People,
haywire after
yeah,
the
people get
deal.
stressed. Yeah, people get stressed. And yeah, and part of our responsibility, well, I shouldn't say part of our responsibility, but part of what happens is we become the go-to for everything.
Yeah, right.
Right.
And
And
that's
it
not
may
a
not,
bad thing.
it's not a bad thing. We're here to help people, right? And
Yep.
sometimes we do a lot of things we never get paid for, and that's just
Yeah.
part of the service, right? So,
Yeah.
um,
Isn't
don't,
that the truth? Coming from
yeah,
someone who lives with an
yeah,
agent. Why are
Yeah,
you
for
doing
sure.
that? Right.
Yeah.
Okay, let's take a quick look at, I'm just going to go back over to the other thing that keeps talking about this acquisition merger, that I guess it's an acquisition, is that the tech is going to be better. Use the tech, and again, yeah, I also think I asked a couple people on some Facebook posts, well, what do you mean? And it was kind of jargon. They didn't really say what do they mean by that. Now it's, I don't know. I looked up actually what Real has, and oh, I forgot what it was called. Real something Zen, and so, I don't have it on my notes for some reason. But I looked up the couple platforms that they say they have. I think that REMAX had it as well. I know other brokerages have things as well. When they say they're AI driven as well, that's another thing. That's the big word now that everyone's saying AI driven, AI driven. And like, okay, what do you mean, and what do you want from AI as an agent?
Yeah.
So can we use AI that we purchase? Like I use AI. I pay for AI. I pay for two platforms that I kind of use them differently. And when I need to do something, I ask AI. And then if I need to put it in my CRM, I just copy and paste it into my CRM, into my drip campaign, into my whatever I need to do. So we always have to also, when AI, think, you can't just use AI content. You should still customize it to sound like Darci, to sound like Terry, right? Otherwise, people are starting to kind of get that. I've seen some posts where it's actually interesting when some people have been posting about this acquisition. They the post is AI, and people are commenting saying, "Well, you just copied and pasted that in from somewhere and put it up in the post." And like, people are starting to recognize AI and how it's worded, and just
Hmm.
obviously it's going to get better over time because as it starts to know how you talk. But that's just things to consider is when they promise things, regardless of which brokerage, they promise this tool. Well, okay, can that tool be taken with you when you leave? If and when you leave. Okay. And if they say yes, because this is what I see all the time. No, no, no problem. You can take your contacts. Well, that may or may not be true because I've seen it. What happens when I'm working with agents, we get that file of contacts and it could not contain notes, it could not contain the spouse. It depends on how they break it up. So maybe it's not good content for the contacts. And then what about, let's say that you spent a lot of time creating drip campaigns because it takes some time, right? So let's say you've got 4 drip campaigns, and I should preface what's a drip campaign. It's a sequential set of emails and tasks for a specific type of client. So a buyer would be in a buyer drip, a seller would be in a seller drip, a past buyer, a past client might be in a past client drip. So there's different types of drips. Does that make sense? I know, Terry, you know all about
Yeah.
drips.
Hmm.
But you spend all this time with the drips. Can you export the drips and can you import them into your CRM? Probably not. I have never in all the years seen that ever possible. Now, that doesn't mean it's not going to be possible one day. But the other thing that happens with CRMs is that they may say, "Yeah, no, you can." KV Core is a good example, and please don't quote me on the price because it's off the top of my head. I can't quite remember. But last time I checked, if you wanted to take KV Core with you, sorry, Bold Trails, is it Bold Trails or Bold Leads? Bold
I don't
something? I don't know why they changed the name.
know.
Okay, I'm gonna keep calling it KV Core. If you want to take that with you and pay for it yourself, number one, you say you have to ask if you can take your own content, maybe, maybe not. But if you could pay for KV Core yourself, it's prohibitive because it's so expensive. It's something like $300 to $500 a month just for the CRM. There's so many more CRMs that are less expensive that do the same thing, right? So most agents wouldn't do that. So think about that. Can you take the content and the CRMs and the calendars and whatever's attached to that CRM with you? More than likely not. Maybe the contacts. Almost every platform you can export the contacts, but again, I'm going to stress they may not bring over everything that you want. If things are set up properly and integrated properly with a CRM that actually integrates properly, it can sync and integrate and it can be your data. Okay. Terry, anything to say about that while
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
looking
no,
at
for
the
sure.
notes
Because
here?
we're talking about software and programs that like the AI. We offer you AI to like okay, what is it? Like you said, what does it really mean?
Yeah,
What are you giving me that's not already out there that I could use already in my business?
right,
All these tools that are being offered, they're not tools that aren't available to everybody already. It may not
right,
be the same brand of software,
right. And it may not
right?
integrate the same, but they may make you use their email
Yeah, for sure.
as well.
There's Firefox, there's Chrome, there's all these different
Yeah.
systems. They all do the same thing.
Yeah,
Pick,
actually, that's a
yeah.
really good example of, I can think off the top of my head, we have Chrome, Edge, Firefox, Go, I think it's called,
Mhm.
Safari. I'm sure there's, I don't know, many others that are
They
the
all do the
same
same thing.
product from different vendors.
Yeah.
Just like email address, like I was mentioning email addresses.
Hmm.
They are not all equal, I'll tell you. Okay.
Yeah.
Email addresses are not all equal, just like CRMs are not all equal,
Hmm.
browsers are not all equal, but they kind of do the same thing, right?
Yeah,
So there's all these free email services. They all kind of do the same thing, but they're not all equal.
exactly. And I
Some
remember
don't
back,
stink in. Oh, sorry, Terry, go ahead.
back to my automotive days, we always talk about cars, right?
Yes, well, you do.
So back in the
I
day,
listen.
spark plugs were a big deal, right? We had NGK, we had Champion, we had Autopar, all these different brands of spark plugs, and people would come in. I need some spark plugs for my car, and I said, "What would you like some Champion?" Oh no, those are garbage. I want
Oh,
NGKs, right? Okay, fair enough. So the next client comes in, I need some spark plugs for my car. I said, "Would you like some NGK?" No, those are crap. I want Champion. Right? So you get these polarizing opinions
yes.
about products, and our real estate industry is the same thing.
Yep,
If you read the
absolutely.
comments about the acquisition between Real and Remax right now,
Yeah,
it's like a political debate,
it is. It is.
and
And
everybody's got
that,
these different perspectives.
and of course you would, depending on if you're who you are and who you're with right now, of course you would, right? My very first thought was not really surprising. I wasn't totally shocked, but my first thing was protect your data. That's what I was like, just protect your data. Like some of the other brokerages, they offer all these, you think, cool, amazing tools like I'm trying not to name names, but I could.
Yeah,
They offer all this stuff that you get an email address with them that's, your name at thebrokerage.com, and you get a website that's probably not yours. What it end up being is, again, because it's not yours, is your name dot thebrokerage.com. That's not good, right?
no,
Now, there's ways to fix that. So if you own a domain, it may look like that. But the very first thought when we were talking about, I'm just going back to what they said here. They said 180,000 agents this is going to impact. And I went, oh my goodness. What about
mhm,
their data? Right? And
exactly.
it's going to take time to figure out what's going to happen. So I'll give you an example. I actually don't know if Real offers, I hope they don't, but I don't know if they offer emails to their agents. But I know with Remax was a forwarder. Right? So
Yep,
what that means for the Remax agents, I'm sure Remax agents knows that, but it wasn't a true email address. All it was is that if I was an agent, it was Darci LaRock at remax.net, and I could forward it to wherever I want. However, the problem with that, where you think, oh, I own my own email, you've given out the remax.net email for 30 years. So once that goes away, and this is, I don't know what they're going to do. What if they say, well, we're just going to cut that off? The email doesn't forward anywhere, right? And if you left the brokerage, that goes away. You do not have an email. The clients, when they email, it'll either bounce or it goes to another agent with that brokerage. It makes me sick when I tell this because I've been preaching this for 20 years for agents, and I don't know why agents don't get it. You can always book a free call with me to look at how your setup is, and I can recommend what to do. And is your data in jeopardy? Because that is, depending on how long you've been an agent, that's sometimes tens, if not millions or billions of dollars worth of revenue. right? And
Yep.
headache.
Hmm.
Not to mention lost time because your stuff isn't syncing and you can't find that contact because you add it on your phone. It doesn't get here, it doesn't get there. And are your tools set up properly? And are they your tools? So,
Yeah, no,
yes.
exactly. The thing is it doesn't matter what brokerage it is, they're all offering different stuff.
Yep.
All that
Yep.
stuff is available to you as an agent
Outside the brokerage.
outside the brokerage. It's all
Yeah.
there. There's a
Yeah.
million different programs you can use. They
Yeah.
all will help your business run efficiently. There'd
Yeah.
be AI-based ones as well. It's all out there.
Yes.
You
Yeah.
need to align yourself with the products that you're going to be, like you say, own yourself. It's your
Yeah.
own data. You may
Yeah.
never ever leave your brokerage ever.
No.
But if you do one day, because I've seen some brokerages have shut down. There was one in the Lower
Oh,
Mainland recently that shut down due to various reasons. But
yes.
the
You can't control that, right? You're
yeah,
right.
yeah,
Brokerages shut down, or that beloved managing broker that's why you stay, retires, and you hate the new one, and you don't
yeah.
want to go. Maybe there's not one in your region, that brokerage. There's so many reasons why. And you, like, actually, you're a really great example of this. Terry was with Remax for a long time, and you still love Remax.
Oh,
You
yeah,
love
Remax is great. Yeah.
Absolutely loved it. And you came to me one day and said, I'm switching brokerages. And I almost fell off my seat because Terry, you had shirts and shoes and
Oh, yeah.
Remax
Yeah, we
everywhere.
leverage the brand for sure, right? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And then when you switched, it was like, wow, okay, awesome. And it was a good move for you.
Yeah.
And so Terry went to Stillhaven. It's a small brokerage here in British Columbia. And you've never looked back. It's been amazing. But when Terry made that change, Terry didn't use the Remax email. He didn't use the Remax tools except the ones that, were useful for him. He didn't use the Remax CRM, which at that time I think was KV Core. So
Yeah,
when you,
Boosh, Kiwi Core, yeah.
I think it was
I
KV
think,
Core when you left.
yeah.
I think Boosh had already been gone,
And killed,
but
yeah.
you didn't use it. Didn't matter.
That didn't
So
matter.
when you left, what happened? You had to do nothing.
Rebrand with
Rebrand.
different,
Change your
mark.
signature,
Yeah.
change the website header and footer,
Yeah.
and your signs and business cards.
That was it.
That was it. And that's
Kept
how
all my
you should
data.
be. Pardon me?
Kept all my data. All my drips
Kept
are in
all,
place. Everything was
there was no
running
difference.
as
No
usual.
difference. And I think that's the key thing that I want agents to just ponder. Whoever you're with right now, this big acquisition has everybody talking about all this stuff, and we really just wanted to come on and talk about our perspective. And we would love your comments, of course. If this is, I'm going to put this up on all the social platforms. Please comment below. We'll put it in our podcast so you can listen to it as well. And do you have any closing thoughts on this,
Yeah.
Terry?
The key thing is don't be looking for another brokerage to solve all your business problems.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what brokerage you're under. If it's not working for you, you need to fix your business first and foremost, because the brokerage doesn't matter as
Yeah.
far as your day-to-day operations and how you operate your business. These
Yeah.
tools, everything are out there right now to for you to be successful in this industry.
Mm-hmm.
You need to take control of your business under the current brokerage that you're under
Yeah.
and get that set up first
So
and
Terry,
foremost. Yeah,
what do you recommend then for a new agent? If you're like, I agree that it doesn't necessarily matter about the brokerage, but you're seasoned and you know what you're doing,
correct.
right?
Yep.
So as a new agent, there's so much to learn. Like it's so overwhelming. And you're going to go, and again, I want to caution new agents that they're hiring you, but you're hiring them. You decide who you want to work with. And sometimes it's systems, sometimes it's the feel of the managing broker and the team or the agents at that brokerage. But what would you tell new agents to look for when they're looking for a brokerage?
So this is
Very
yeah, this
first
is
time.
that's a tough question because
I
it's there's
know.
so much going on, right? So as a brand new agent, you need help. Like
Yeah.
in British Columbia, when you get your license, you don't know much about day-to-day real estate business.
Yeah.
hopefully you have a business background. For example,
Yeah,
I'm mentoring a new agent right now. She has a strong business background, so we just
yeah,
need to bring her up to speed on the industry.
yeah,
The business fundamentals are there, and the key thing with her is she's open to learning,
yeah, very.
right? If you're not
Yeah,
open to learning, you'll never be successful, right? Because this industry changes all the time. You have to be open to
yeah.
them. So you have a few choices. Either you're going to go to a brokerage that has some sort of training program.
And they should, right? You have to be mentored somehow, training, mentored
Yeah, so
some.
some brokerages have a training program, and for that training program, you give up some of your revenue.
Yeah,
The splits are
because
going to
it's
be
a lot of
higher.
work.
Yeah.
It's a lot of
Oh, yeah, for
work.
sure. Managing new agents, it's like, yeah, a
Yeah.
ton. And so then you might go to a brokerage that has a training program, so you're going to give up some of your revenue for that training program.
Yeah,
Other ones have not as maybe robust training programs, but they'll connect you with a mentor. So
yeah.
you're actually working one-on-one with a seasoned agent, and for that you're going to pay a certain percentage as well because you have to. Like a
It's
seasoned
their
agent
time.
taking on a brand new agent is a huge, huge responsibility. It's
Yes.
I always say it sucks the life out of me because it's a ton of work to get them up to
Well,
speed,
I
right?
know because you're not doing it that much anymore, but you were mentoring before, and
Yep.
you'd get because they don't know what they're doing, and
Yeah.
so you'd get a call when a deal's going sideways, they don't understand anything, and you'd have to sit and talk on the phone, interrupt our dinner. It's okay, folks, or wherever we were, because deals happen at every
Yeah, for
all,
sure.
all the time in the day and night, and you have to be available when that thing goes sideways. And so I think it's well worth the money that they have to pay someone to mentor them.
Yeah.
But would you say, because I see sometimes when new agents are looking, they're looking for the cheapest place to go to start.
Well, there's this old adage where you get what you pay for,
Mm,
and um, and I know because I've helped a lot of new agents and mentored and coached a lot of agents.
yeah.
Um, if you're in a brokerage and you have one managing broker and you have 100 new agents, you're not going to get very much help because now
Right.
the managing broker's got two phones, one in each ear, and it's 24/7 because it's
putting
there's a lot of
fires out. Who wants
yeah,
that job either? Right.
I know,
Yeah.
right? That's a lot of work
Yeah.
for sure. But
Or if there's one managing broker with 500 agents,
that's another tough one for sure.
yeah,
That's a
you're
tough
not going
gig
to
for
get
sure.
the support you need.
Yeah. So then
So,
the other way to do it is you actually hire, regardless of the brokerage and their programs, is you hire somebody like the programs that I have, which is one-on-one. You
yeah,
get help. We bring
yeah,
you up to speed very, very quickly. We get your business system set up properly
yeah,
and give you the best possible chance to be successful in this industry. And when I mean successful, I talk about as a business being able to stay profitable and keep the business going. But the key thing is to provide the best possible service you can to your clients, and that's the key thing. If you're adopting that service mindset model, right?
yes,
Like I said,
yes.
there's other models out there, but
So,
yeah,
actually, question for you because it's just coming because I think I know the answer to this, but have you ever had a bad year?
nope.
Yeah,
So I've always
I
been
don't
busy,
think
I
so. You're
think.
never worried about if this, oh my God, I'm only going to make $10,000 this year. You've never, ever, ever in all the years of being an agent. And I know it's because you keep in touch and you're such a great agent. And I think that that's part of the systems we got you set up with in your first year, which
Yeah.
I helped Terry with. And then you've communicated with your clients consistently since.
Yeah, and part of that, I think, yeah, the systems are super, super important
Yeah.
because we're managing a ton of data. And
Yeah.
if you
Yeah.
did this all manually, your head would explode.
You can't remember your first year or two, yeah.
Yeah,
It's not as important because you're not doing that many deals, but after that, there's no way 5 years from now you're going to remember all the transactions you've done and to keep in touch with everybody unless you have the system in
you
place.
got to have it in place. And then you have to choose what kind of business model you're going to
Yeah.
adopt and use.
Yeah.
And the thing that I see in today's real estate business is that the mindset of service versus sales is the game changer. And if you genuinely care about your clients, you're gonna gravitate towards that service mindset
Yeah.
So that might just come naturally to you. But
Yep.
I can tell you, and Russ Ruffino talks about this as well, as far as adopting that service mindset changes everything,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's yeah. I mean, we can beat this to death, but we both agree the same thing is that clients come first
Yeah.
and service comes first. And I know there's the different model about one and done, but I personally I don't like that model
Yeah.
because I don't
It's
think
out there, and I don't know. I've never done a transactional based business model, so
yeah,
but I know it's out there, and
for sure, but you can't be looking after your client's best interest if all you want to do is get it sold and then get on to the next person. I
yeah,
don't know.
that's a tough one for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's whatever you choose, have the right systems.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah. Bottom line is whichever business model you're using for sure, whatever works for you. The
yeah,
fundamental thing is having those business systems that are yours,
yeah,
and a brokerage is not going to save you.
no. And don't make any like quick decisions because of what's happening, right? Don't jump
Mhm.
ship or like really think this through. Or is your business set up that it doesn't matter what Real's doing, right?
Or
I'm sure
Remax, vice
the
versa,
Remax
right?
name is
Yeah.
going to be in there still, right?
Well, I understand they're just operating as individual
As
brokerages right now.
is.
Yeah, as
I
is.
think so too. And then the tools will be shared or something. But
Yeah.
I think that just don't jump ship if you want to really think about it. But the end of this is, as we've been preaching for, I don't know how long we've been talking now, for a while, is own your own data. That means your own email, where your files and folders are, a central database for your contacts, a central database for your calendar, a central database for your files and folders that hopefully can flip a switch and integrate with a CRM. And what I mean by integrate is that if I update a contact on my phone, or if Terry does, Terry updates a contact on his phone, that contact, whether it's an updated email address or a phone number or a note that I met Joe for coffee or whatever, will automatically be updated on anything else he picks up. He goes to another computer, it's there. He goes to my office and logs on, it's there. And if he goes into the CRM, it's there. If he's in the CRM, same thing. He adds a calendar, it ends up on his phone, on his computer. He updates a contact, it ends up on his phone and computer. That means a one update system, not having to manage multiple databases and multiple pieces of software. Yeah?
Yeah, and like a lot of people operate that way, and there's standalone lead gen CRMs, like there's different
Mm-hmm.
coaches that have these programs that are out there, and you
Yep.
have this little standalone system, and then you have another standalone system, and I know in BC that Paragon and Matrix they have a place for contacts, but they don't sync with anything,
No.
right? So all these
I
software
don't
programs
think
that don't talk to each other
most MLMs, I guess I've never really understood that. Most MLS systems don't allow that,
for the
even
syncing, right?
indirectly. Like
Yeah.
even some third party, they don't allow that. I'm sure there's some reasons for that. Probably data protection or whatever. I don't know. Because you can easily export them and bring them in.
Yeah.
But yeah, some systems just are standalone, but a CRM doesn't have to be. There are CRMs out there that sync and integrate.
Yeah,
So
for sure. Yeah. And the key thing and I know I operate a large part of my day to day off my phone because I'm not
yeah,
sitting in front of my computer all day. But it doesn't
no,
matter because anything I do on my phone integrates into my business systems, and it doesn't matter what I'm viewing it on, whether it's a
yes,
phone, a tablet, my laptop. I have a home office. I also have an office in the brokerage office. It doesn't matter what I'm doing or where I am or what device I'm using. It doesn't matter. Everything gets updated. If I go to my office and turn my computer on, everything is there
yeah. So if you need to find client information, you can find it
everywhere, anywhere in a
like
second.
that
Yeah,
anywhere you are,
documents,
everywhere.
appointments,
Yeah.
everything.
Just be mindful, everyone. That's again, if you want to talk, I do offer complimentary review of agent systems. I do have a program. It's not suitable for everybody. We have this chat to see if it's a good fit. But regardless, you're going to get benefit out of us chatting and giving me the real deal about how your business is set up. So I think we've beaten a dead
Was that a
horse.
pun? The real deal? Yeah.
No, I mean,
Ah,
yes, of course it
yeah.
was. So thanks again for your time, Terry. If anyone has questions, we'll have more information below where you can book a meeting or make a comment. We love to have a dialogue. And, change happens, so you have to embrace the change. Change happens every single day, and big changes like this can be very good. And be mindful of how you're running your business. All right.
Okay.
All right.
Well,
Thanks,
on that
Terry.
note,
Yeah.
see
Thanks,
you
Terry.
later. Okay.
See you later. Bye.
Bye.